up, YouTube? This is Gabe868. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Hotel Transylvania. All of our monster friends are here. So let's start off with, the story. Or the cast first. Kevin James, Adam Sandler, Selena Gomez, CeeLo Green, who did the voice of him. But the human, how did you find this place? The human, I think his name's Johnny, and AKA Johnny Stein, Andy Samberg, and so let's start off with the story. It starts off in warning, there'll be some spoilers, and so the story is about Dracula trying to protect his little girl, as you can see. That's why he built Hotel Transylvania. So in the beginning, it shows him he was playing with his daughter, and he was it was a shot of him doing this. Then he was like, boo, and the baby was like, ah! The baby, Beatrice, I think that's her name, and he was like, ah! And the baby was like, and he's like, oh, no, it's okay, my little girl, I'll always protect you, and yeah, yeah, this movie was funny, and so then he was like, then he told the tales of the human. He's like, when done the human, when, and she was like hiding under the covers a lot. It was really good. And then he started playing the ukulele. He's like, oh, Daddy's coming to protect you. I'll always protect you. Yeah, and then he's like, if the human tries to get you, I'll go. But it was like in the deep voice, it was like, to Daddy's little goose. That part scared me. Like, when I saw the trailer, it wasn't that loud, but when I saw it in theaters, it was so loud in the theater. He was like, but I didn't see it in 3D. If it was in 3D, that would be funny, because Regal's cheap. So I saw this would reach 12341. If you will subscribe to him, his annotation would be right here, because, he couldn't make it to do this review. So subscribe to him right there. And, so let's continue the movie review. Then he's like then the builder was like, it's done. Like, actually, before that, his daughter was practicing the, become a bat, like, if she wants, to get a human, just to practice. So she jumped off her bed. Then she turned into the bat. She's like, I did it, Daddy, I did it. And he was like, oh, great, my daughter. Then turned to her with her, and they were flying around the room. Then the builder interrupts. He's like, Sir Dracula. And then Dracula's like, they morph back. He's like, what? And he was like, it's done. Which Hotel Transylvania was done. And so he looked out. He's like, it's beautiful. Then it morphs in the castle, and the zombies are like building to like, then he grand opened it. Then it shows everybody coming. The first we see Wayne Wolf come with his family when Jack-o'-lantern was driving the taxi, and then they were coming out, the babies and the husbands and the wife. The wife was precious. She was like, ooh. And then he's like, and this is Wayne Wolf's like, yeah, it's a mess right there. And Jack-o'-lantern was like, so funny. Yeah. And then all the monsters came. Like Bigfoot came. Uncle, like his name on here is Uncle Frank. Yeah. And Fran Drescher, she plays his wife. And so Wayne Wolf was first, and Frankenstein and all the other monsters came, and like the mummy was the last one to come before the human, and then then, so Uncle Frank or AKA Frankenstein was in the box along with his wife, and also and he then they were back and Dracula's like, Uncle Frank! He was holding his head. He was like, Uncle Frank, it's good to see you again. It's good to come to Hotel Transylvania. And then he came. In the basic of the movie, it was about his little girl's birthday party too. And so they were just trying to all set up, and then the human comes. Dracula turned around. A human! And then he did that weird run. He was like, if y'all know what run I'm talking about, he's like, how did you find this place? Then he's like, and then Andy Samberg's like, I was just mountain climbing with some dudes, and I heard this awesome story about a castle. Hey, speaking of that black thing is killing it. So funny. And then cause and he made it through all the monster mazes and stuff. Cause like Dracula, when the builder was, and Dracula was like, can humans? Are you sure humans can't get through? And then the builder was like, yes, there's like monster plants, there's zombies underground, there's all these trees and all these stuff, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and he was about so then he took him to a castle. He's like, boom, they slammed the door. He's like, you shouldn't have come here. And then he's like, ooh, and then Frank and Johnny was like, oh, look at these costumes. Oh, look at these fun costumes. And Jackie's like, costumes. And so they had a private moment. He was like, let's take this back off. And like putting costumes on him, but they didn't show the scene. They were showing like a private moment, like out the lobby. And also, like before they went in the closet, like monsters were like, hey, and he's like, someone's behind my back. I'm not sure what you're doing. Yeah. And then so when they came out, he was Johnny Stein, and he said he was Frankenstein's right-hand cousin when he first met Matrice, and Frankie, Uncle Frank, and Matrice. This is why he was Uncle Frank, because it was Matrice, his uncle. So it's weird, like, because Frankenstein is just basically Dracula's best friend. I didn't know they were like brothers, birth brothers, or step brothers, or half brothers, or adoptive brothers, like Thor and Loki. Yeah, and so then after that, so then he was actually acting all like, Johnny Stein. Then he's like, you better listen to this music. And they played Sexy, I Know It. I'm sexy. And Johnny's like, I gotta get this out of my ears. I gotta get it out of my ears. And then he was flying all over the place. He's like, and then so then he ran into Matrice, and they loved each other. They were just like these purple lines, like were showing to like, yeah, and then also, yeah, and I might not get into all the movie because I'm kind of getting hot in here, and Dracula lied to her about him like being a monster and planning her birthday party. And so then like did they try to, and then like he was trying to cheer her up or something. Then he's like, "You better have your worm cakes," like worm pancakes. It was so funny about that, and then yeah, you better have your pancakes. Yeah, and that scene was really funny. Yeah, and but I'm surprised Frankenstein didn't work that in the movie. Probably when we get the DVD, we'll get a delayed scene in that suit. And also, so then when they had the party, the first part, like they were having a pool party at night, of course, and so they played like all this like hip hop music and techno music and stuff. It was like wild like LMFAO parties and stuff, and like in their music videos. It was almost like that in their music videos, and so then after that, so then, and spoiler alert, if y'all see the chef in that movie, there was a chef, he finds out he's a human by the sniff of his rat. And so yeah, then that's when he's like, "I'm human! I'm 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 human!" It was so, he was like all this crazy around, and so then so like he tries to capture Johnny when he was still Frankenstein, like his cousin, Uncle Frank's cousin, and so yeah, he was just still trying to be like him, and then it comes to that scene, and then Johnny was like showing Matrice the sunrise. He's like, "I gotta show you the sunrise," and then he's like, "Oh, this is beautiful." Then when the sunrise, the sun touched Matrice's shoes, and she's like, "Yeah!" Like, because she was about to burn. Yeah, and then about this movie, like, and then like this is, and before that scene, this is when Dracula was like, "Leave and never return." Wait, never return? What? I just looked at the eye of Mr. Baby. I looked straight into your eyes. It was all funny. And, then, yeah, it was all funny. And then he had a meeting with Dracula. Like, then he was looking for Dracula. And, so he found him in this room, like, sitting at a party table. He's like, "Table 46, rise. Go down to 18 to 26. All that blah, 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 blah. All that bullcrap. Or, bullshit. Yeah, yeah, because, it was kind of shit for a few minutes. But, so then Johnny Stein walks in, and he was like, dude, Johnny Stein, like, he was really like, he's like, "Oh, tables that rise." And then Dracula's like, "You gonna say damn out for being with my daughter." And, sorry, I don't know, I keep getting seeds. Then Johnny Stein, like, when they were talking about the sunset, he falls through, and he sits on Dracula's lap. Dracula's like, "Hi, yeah, now back." And another funny scene is when they were on that maze trying to take him to his daughter or whatever, just whatever. I got shaken a little, like just whatever. And then then he walked to the wrong room. He's like, "What are you doing, my wife?" Like, yeah. Okay, now back. And so then he gets on and then he's like, in timeout, he's like, so then he starts moving to the tables, then he's just starting to go to, then he's just starting to go to, he's starting to go to, on the tables to float, and they had challenges. He's like, stay away from my daughter. Then, they were flying all around, and, they were flying all around, and they had a little bumping into, and they both made it through, and then, so yeah. And I'm going to talk about the ending movie, and, another spoiler, well, but that's at the end of the movie. I'm going to talk about a little about the ending. The spoiler near the end of the movie is that everybody finds out he's a human. And they're like, he's a human! Ah! 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 Yeah, they're like, ah! 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 They were just like running all around like babies freaking out over nothing. And then, then also at the end of the movie, Johnny's like, I'm not in love with you anymore, Retrice, you're a monster. Then he leaves Hotel Transylvania finally, because, he thought Dracula was sad. And then, then at the end of the movie, he was like, then near the end of the movie, they go out to the city and they try to find him. And here's another spoiler alert. Frankenstein says, I'm the real Frankenstein, and here's the real Dracula down there, and the real lame wolf, and the real mummy. And they were like, yeah! Like, they weren't all that mean and stuff, Ah! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! So they let Dracula through because, like, they had curtains in the air for, like, sunlight not to go. So then, whoa, I forgot the scene again. Rewind. Okay, and like in the beginning, like when she wanted to go out, and he finally let her. So the zombies were acting like real humans. So they had garlic bread, fire, and everywhere. Then the zombies. Then she's like, oh, I'm never coming back. Then she got mad at him that he was lying about the earth. Like how people were hating them, but they don't hate them anymore because, the world has finally changed. It's just finally changed. Because that's shit about changing the world. See? But, dude, but so then he, so then at the end, he, just so at the end, he made it to the plane because, he was burning in the sun while he was flying. And, so then he brainwashed someone else. Oh, yeah. Wait, back to the party scene. Is like outside. And then some guy was like, prove it that you're Dracula. Then Dracula does a red eye. Shoot! Okay, now back. So he erased the driver of the pilot's memory, and Dracula's mind was actually in the pilot. He's like, Johnny, you are allowed in love with my daughter. You're just really in love with my daughter. Just please come back and be in love with my daughter for her birthday party. And then also he said, and then he's like, okay, I am coming back. So then they turn around, land. Then at the end of the movie, him and then Johnny and Matrice, I think they get married because they were showing it's a happy birthday, Matrice. Then they were saying each other and they kiss. And I think Frankenstein married him. I'm still not sure. But then at the end, they all started singing and Dracula rap. He's like, it was so funny. Then when they were kissing when he got back, and then he was like, I got a surprise for you. And he's like, it comes with accessory, and it was Johnny. So then so they kissed again, and they were trying to kiss, and Johnny did. Oh, sorry, please continue. I'm sorry for your rubbing into the moment. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. And then, then they kissed, and I think they got married for her birthday party. Then, they were all around about that. And then, you know, they were just all around, and then they finally forgave Dracula, you know, for inviting a human to the Hotel Transylvania. And that's how the movie ends. So that's basically it. So go to BKB.net, subscribe to Reach 12341. Peace.